When the Arboretum was founded, it was only about 20 years after On the Origin of Species came out, and so people were really just starting to get their minds around evolution. Harvard was very interested in these questions as well, and they had a botanic garden on Garden Street in Cambridge. However, they didn't really have any space where they could grow trees. The Arboretum was founded in 1872 by combining this gift of money from James Arnold and this gift of land from Benjamin Bussey and creating essentially a research station here in Jamaica Plain. In designing the Arboretum with Frederick Law Olmsted, the idea came up that if the Arboretum became a part of the city park system, Harvard wouldn't need to worry about things like roads and walls, infrastructure. Essentially what Harvard did was to donate the land to the city of Boston and then have Boston lease that property back to Harvard for $1 a year. Harvard is running the Arboretum, growing plants here, making our collections available for research and study, while opening it up to the public as a park for people to come and enjoy here every day of the year. The plants that we have here are all very meticulously recorded and tracked and documented. We know their life histories, we know where they came from.
Right now, staff are on 4 expeditions this fall to Kentucky, Tennessee, China, and the Republic of Georgia. So as soon as all those seed comes in, we decide on the specific treatment to give the seed. All the propagules, whether they are seeds, cuttings, signs for grafting, or plants, come to the Dana greenhouse facility first before they are put out into the collections. After a seedling is large enough, we'll put it in our evaluation nursery. And this is the first chance that the seedling has of a Boston winter.
The Arboretum is an experiment. Like every plant that we put in the ground is an experiment to find out if that plant will grow under certain conditions. It's particularly important now with climate change and with so many natural habitats shrinking. Part of our collections campaign right now is sort of looking ahead to the next century and what are people going to be worried about in the next century around plants, and what can we do now to sort of prepare ourselves to be able to help them better. The Arboretum is arranged by plant families, an arrangement that came about through 19th century thinking about how evolution works. And that was, a very early conception of how plants evolved. But they didn't get it right. When you come into the Arboretum, the first plants that you encounter are the magnolias, which in the Bentham and Hooker sequence is what they thought were the most primitive plants there were. We know today that they are very primitive, but the conifers, which they actually put at the end of the sequence at the Arboretum, predate those plants. The Explorer's Garden, since the early part of the 20th century, has been the prime location for us to plant things that we collect on expedition. The reason for that is that it's on the backside of Bussey Hill, and in the cold of winter it misses a lot of the cold winds that will buffet this hill, and as a result many of the first introductions of plants to this country are located in the Explorer's Garden and still grow there, still thrive there. The wonderful thing about the Arnold Arboretum is that you can come here any time of the year and see something extremely interesting or something that you might not have noticed before.